Hello everyone and welcome to today's live stream. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a real-life airline pilot, and today we're going to do something slightly different from our usual fixed-wing aircraft. Today we're actually going to fly the Christoph 31 rescue helicopter. In real life that's an Airbus H135. Now in our simulator we're going to fly the H145, and we are based at the Charité in Berlin. And this helicopter's main missions is to bring the emergency medical services to the patients. So wherever accidents happened, we're going to go there, bring the doctors there, and then as applicable transport the patient to hospital that can actually handle the patient. So that's what we're going to go today. And I have downloaded a scenery from flightsim.to that is linked in the description of the stream below if you're interested, which includes both the hospitals here in Berlin as well as quite some emergency medical scenarios and accidents in the area. So the aircraft we're using is the Hype Performance Group H145 Action Pack. So about a month or two ago they released the Action Expansion Pack on top of their normal H145 helicopter, which includes the emergency versions like our rescue helicopter here, and it also includes some others like the firefighters and some more. However, it is currently in an early access, so we do not have all versions available quite yet, and I don't know yet if there are any issues to be expected, because this is actually my very first time flying it. So let's see what's going to happen, let's see how it's going to be like, and if you have any comments, suggestions, or if you have some tips how I can improve my helicopter flying, you're very warm welcome to let me know. Right, we're flying this in VATSIM. Call sign is Christoph 31, which is our main helicopter based at the Charité. So we'll start this off by doing the pre-flight on this helicopter. Got a couple checks to do before we actually start our missions. Right, so
fire, engine 1 fire. Fire, engine 2 fire. Audio test.
So for the payload we don't have any yet, but the crew, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Traffic.
Oh, hello. Right, so 5 people will take an average of 80 kilos, so we've got 400 kilogram of crew in the craft. We'll also load up some additional fuel here. But we have to be careful not to exceed the maximum weight of the plane, so let's see real quick. The maximum gross mass for flight is 3,700 kilograms, so yeah, we can actually fuel the helicopter up completely. Alright, so that's about it, and I can already hear our first mission incoming, so let's go ahead and start this aircraft up. Now, this is an Airbus, and you know what that means, huh? So, starting number 1. Right, that's a good start on number 1, starting number 2. I just gotta love how easy the Airbus handles. Alright, that gives us 2 good starts. So, hydraulic check then. All right. So we are basically ready to go. What I'll do is I'll program the mission in the GPS, since we don't have the typical guidance systems available today. So we'll just call this ACC1 for accident 1. And our first destination is going to be 52 north, so N523758 and east 0124251. That's a temporary waypoint. Create. Go direct to, select ACC1. It doesn't let us do that. Okay, yeah, that's a known issue, I believe. So, for the origin, we are at Charlie Bravo Fox. And the destination ACC1. Alright. That's this. Let's quickly check if we're going through any limited airspace over here. So we want our airspace overlay and we want heading up. We'll give this a moment to load up. In the meantime, we're ready to go. We'll take the nav display over here, and we can switch that to the map later on. Alright, we are clear on the right and clear on the left. So now comes the big moment. It's been a while since I've flown this. It's been a long while since I've flown this, actually. Come on. And here we are. Alright, let's not hit any of those poles. And here we go. Right, we're free of any restricted airspace here, so don't need this anymore, but we can use this. Switch off the terrain awareness system. Oh man, it's hard to see anything at this time of the day, so yeah. It just looks better like this, doesn't it? And someone in the comments there is saying if I wouldn't hate the clickbait title Real Pilot, even though I've probably never touched a helicopter in real life. The honest answer to that is, I have never touched a helicopter in real life, but nonetheless I still think that it does make a little bit of a difference if you have some general aviation experience over having no real aviation experience at all. That's at least my opinion. So, this helicopter being an Airbus after all, it does handle pretty nicely. I'm not touching the controls at all at the moment. And it's just going where it's supposed to go, just like an Airbus. let's actually, while we have the time, go ahead and try the autopilot as well. So, we'll couple this. That engages nav mode. And then we'll go ahead with altitude hold as well. So here we go, now it's maintaining altitude and doing the navigation for us. Now overall, this is going to look pretty similar to what you are used to from your normal airliners, or from your normal Airbus airliners I should say. So let's see, to our destination it's going to take us 9 minutes to get there. That's quite a long time for a rescue helicopter actually. But I guess if we're the only ones available, then so be it. So you can say about this aircraft whatever you want, but it does have some maps available. Let's see what kind of data we have available down here. Okay, I definitely prefer this. Weather radar is inoperative, we don't have it installed in our aircraft. So, Zach is asking in the comment, how difficult is it to fly this versus a fixed-wing aircraft in the sim? Taking off and landing is something that needs a lot of getting used to. You're going to see it when I'll have to make a precision landing next to the accident site in a few minutes as well. It's not exactly easy to take off and land this. Once it's flying, it flies pretty similar to a fixed-wing aircraft. You climb and descend it like you would in a fixed-wing aircraft, and overall it feels pretty similar. But taking off and landing is really where things start to get different. Also, one more thing. In this aircraft you will find some basic autopilot controls and everything, but you are not going to find, let's say, easy use for all these lovely buttons you have here on your cyclic and on your collective. So for those we actually have a shortcut in the tablet over here. I'll actually just have to find the shortcut real quick. It's somewhere in here. Yeah, autopilot, here it is. So in here we can basically change all the different modes on a shortcut, which we normally would operate using those buttons on the stick. That's pretty cool actually, that it has all those shortcuts in the tablet now. I've been a day one owner of the original H145 when it was first released. That must have been like a year ago or so. And back then it didn't have all those, and we only had some basic key bindings. But now that we have all this stuff in the tablet, that's actually really cool. Oh, and one more thing about flying this. Hype Performance Groups have actually built like a more difficult and an easier way to fly in. So we've got the gameplay mode over here, which is set to realistic now, but you could also just set it to an easy mode, and then it's going to be much easier flying this helicopter. But I prefer it on realistic, and it just takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you're used to it, then it's flying really great. Also, be aware that this helicopter is fully IFR certified, so you have dual GTN 750s in here, and it actually flies IFR really well as well. So, another 4 minutes to go. And for those of you who have just joined the stream, we've departed the Charité, and we are headed for the first accident site over here, where we're going to pick up a patient whom we're going to bring to a hospital in Berlin. And from there we'll probably return to the Charité, or if we're getting a new mission straight away, then we're probably going to the new mission. Okay, I have to admit, flying this on autopilot is too easy. It really is too easy. So let's see if we've actually got an autopilot disconnect shortcut in here, or if we need to do it via the or if we have to do it via the buttons. So let's see, that was on here. I think I can just turn it off like this. Okay, here we are. So now we're all hand flying again, even though you know what hand flying means in an Airbus. So take that into account when you're considering this. Four more miles. Let's see if we can already locate the accident site on the map over here. Alright, so it seems like we have to go into one of those fields. That one over there, it seems. So we'll always try to land into the wind. The wind is coming from pretty much straight ahead, so let's see if I can... Let's see if we can already find our... let's call them clients. Apparently it's a bicycle accident that we are heading for. So most likely it's going to be somewhere close to the road, I would say. But now comes the searching. So if you see something, do let me know. We're searching for a bicycle accident somewhere over here. We'll Most likely somewhere along this road. Okay, according to the GPS, we've already passed the accident site. So let's turn our helicopter around here.
100 feet.
Maybe along this road here. No, there's it. There is our accident. There's the police actually blocking the road. However, it seems that not a lot of cars actually care about the road being blocked. Alright, well, we'll just go down over here. Ambulance is here already. So, here we are. So, where is our cyclist actually? Let's see if we can get to see something. Okay, no cyclist around anymore, so he's probably in the ambulance already. Well, I guess we'll just take him as he's there. So, our mission is actually complete then by bringing the doctors to the site, and then we can start returning to the Charité. Couple comments, by the way, that we've had there. First of all, Marix498 is asking that in my latest video about sim pilots probably not being able to land a real airplane without an autoland. Do I really think so? The answer is yes, I do. And the reason is that in real life there are so many disturbances to the air, for example because of wind going over the trees and stuff, that your airplane is very easily actually being brought off the flight path, and you constantly have to correct for that. And that's something that you are just not used to from your flight simming experience, and therefore you'll likely be overwhelmed by how difficult it is to maintain the flight track. and that's how you will then quickly have things getting out of control, and then things will go south very quickly from there. Alright, so doesn't look like we actually need to carry any patient from here since the ambulance is here already. And since I don't see our cyclist anymore. So let's just close this down again and we'll start making our way back towards the Charité. Right, so the Airbus wouldn't be an Airbus if it wasn't very easy to start up. So let's go ahead. Start number 1. Good start on number 1, start number 2. Alright, and we have 2 good starts. Oh, that was the wiper. Oops. Alright, we'll go back towards the Charité. Activate. And we are good to go. Oh, actually not quite yet. We've just got to engage the stability augmentation systems again. Now we can go. So regarding what's been said earlier on, the flight models of aircraft not being that good. First of all, yes, even the most sophisticated add-on aircraft still don't quite match their real counterparts. I can see earlier in the comments there was somebody who is actually flying for real in this area tomorrow, so I'm very sure that you will also be able to confirm that even the best flight models, even the best add-ons in Flight Simulator are never going to be 100% like the real aircraft. They are getting close, but not quite like it. And one of the big differences that we have with the real aircraft versus the flight simulator is that you can have the best flight model, but if the external conditions coming from the simulator itself, like for example disturbances in the air caused by wind going over trees and stuff like that, are not simulated, then it's very, very difficult to, you know, get that training effect that you are looking for. So one thing I'll just quickly do, because it's just easier to handle in the chopper, is remove the 3D model of the pilot. Right, Taxi is asking what the cruising speed is for this helicopter. Depending on the weight, it's somewhere between 110 and 130 knots. Now, if you don't care about fuel, like we do in our emergency and rescue operation here, then it's going well at about 120, 130 knots. Alright, so I just hear another emergency call coming in, and this one is actually taking us into the vicinity of Berlin-Brandenburg Airport. So we'll start heading towards the airport. Got 11 minutes to get there. In the meantime, while we are heading towards the airport, let's quickly get out a map to actually check out some of the features close to it. So do we have the tower frequency anywhere on here? No? Okay. Then we'll have to get it from here. Not a problem. Berlin-Brandenburg frequencies, tower 18.8. And Watzem won't be Watzem if we had the 8.33 kilohertz frequency, so we'll do it like that. Berlin Tower, hallo, Christoph Triebon.
Christoph Triebon, Berlin Tower, good evening.
Christoph Triebon, rescue helicopter, altitude 1000 feet, northwest of the field, approximately 20 miles. We have an actual mission inside the CTR on a road, approximately 0.5 miles final, runway 07 right. Request to proceed straight.
Christoph Triebon, so let me check. Active runways are 25 left and 25 right. QNH is 1020. Approved to enter the control zone direct from the northwest. Proceed inbound to your mentioned rescue location.
Christoph Triebon, QNH 1020, runways 25 left right, proceeding direct to the rescue operation, and we call you on a short final.
Berlin Tower, morning, Wings 19 Bravo, entry south for my 8, runway 25 left.
Yoke 19 Bravo, Berlin Tower, good evening. Thank you for rolling flight runway 25 left to Mike 7.
Via Victor 2, Mike 7, runway 25 left, Wings 19 Bravo.
One more question there, what the maximum cruising altitude for the H145 is. That's flight level 200.
Ewing's 100 Bravo, request Mike 8.
Yoke 198.
And as said, it's fully IFR equipped, so you can perfectly fly this IFR on a Cat 1 arrival.
Oh yeah, Victor 2 Alpha, Mike 8, 257, Ewing's 100 Bravo.
Americ 498, yes, they definitely made a lot of progress with the 145. I've flown it from the initial release for maybe 2 or 3 months, pretty much exclusively, and back then it was really nice aircraft already, but by now it's not comparable anymore. This is a totally different beast.
Yoke 198. I cannot see the message.
And by the way, if you want to do some of those rescue missions yourself,
19 Bravo.
there are 2 options how you could do them. One of them is by going on flightsim.to and searching for sceneries that include hospitals, that include emergency locations, etc. That is what I have done for this particular video. But what you can do as well is to download a program called NeoFly, and in NeoFly you can more or less set up your own company for which you can then get an H145, and NeoFly supports emergency missions as well, and that one's actually creating them on a live basis rather than having pre-designed scenarios as I have them in my simulator right now. So those are the 2 options that you can do for this one. And of course there is a 3rd option if you are using the H145 Action Expansion Pack, then they also have a mission editor included. However, right now the editor focuses exclusively on the firefighting variant, where you can place fires and place lakes where you can pick up water, etc. So that's really nice as well. Alright, let's fly around that power station over there. We don't accidentally want to go in there. We can already see the Berlin-Brandenburg airport at the horizon there. That's pretty much where we are heading. Our mission is getting us right into the short final of runway 07 right. And taxi, for your question what the difference is between a Fenestrone and conventional tail rotor in terms of aircraft performance, I'm sorry, I actually don't know that. Mosoto, regarding your question if we could set the wind and turbulence in Microsoft Flight Simulator to simulate the air disturbance that I talked about earlier, I have not come across any setting that would even closely mimic what this is like in a real aircraft. Greensmoke 42, I'm using rudder pedals, and my exact hardware setup is actually in my video description as well, if you want to look it up. I'm using the Thrustmaster joystick, so the Thrustmaster Warthog HOTAS and the Thrustmaster Pendular pedals. Christoph 31 entering the control zone, request crossing the departure sector of runway 25 right. Christoph 31, roger, and we are descending to an altitude of 500 feet above ground. Christoph 31, roger. Our mission is getting us right into the about 0.5 miles departure sector of 25 left. We'll maintain low level below 500 feet.
Lufthansa 60 Yankee. Berlin Tower, good evening, with 907 on private flight yesterday. Lufthansa 60 Yankee, traffic information for you. Yes, and that's you had a contact.
Okay, so now comes the interesting part of finding the accident once again. I know it's on the final of 07 right on a road that's crossing just ahead of the runway, but that's about all the information I have about this one. So it's gotta be that road over here on the chart. So I think we found the highway. We've just got to find the accident. Power lines down here, let's be careful with those. I think we are too far to the south already. Let's just fly to this bridge and then we'll turn around back to the north. Or to the west rather.
Turn right on Alpha, contact 121 later.
Right on Alpha, 121
Ah, there it is. Just in front of the bridge. Christoph 31 has reached the mission area. get a little closer. There is our accident.
Boarding tower to today, it's EV147 ready for taxi to holding points on right to 5 left.
EV147. Roger. Taxi via Victor to Mike 7.
Victor to Mike 7, EV147.
Alright, so we have made it down here. And it looks like this time we'll actually have to carry a patient to a hospital. So let's see what kind of accident we found here. That looks like two vehicles have collided. Yeah. But they only have a single ambulance here. Oh, and there seems to be a truck involved as well over there. Okay. So that definitely looks like an actual mission for us. Let's see then which destination is most suitable for us. So we will be going to the Unfallkrankenhaus Berlin, so the accident hospital Berlin. So now comes something really, really nice. We're able to load a patient here, and now we can actually load him into the airplane. That's nice, isn't it? Alright, so the doctors can start their work back here. Now it's going to be our mission to get us going to the Unfallkrankenhaus Berlin as quickly as possible. So, doors are closing. Anti-collision, prime pumps. And here we go, start engine 1.
Traffic, traffic.
In the meantime, while that is starting, Okay, good start number 2. Sorry, number 1. Start number 2.
DZ147, contact 122 decimal, correction, DZ147, contact 123 decimal 225 Q.
DZ147, switching to Bremen radar at 123 decimal 225. Thank you very much, bye-bye.
Berlin Tower, hallo, Christoph Trebahn.
Christoph 31, Berlin Tower, moin.
Christoph Trebahn, airborne at the accident site, destination Unfallkrankenhaus Berlin, request to leave on a direct routing.
Christoph 31, Roger. Proceed direct to University.
Christoph Trebahn, proceeding direct destination, and that's the Unfallkrankenhaus, not the Universitätskrankenhaus.
Christoph 31, in this case, proceed direct to Unfallkrankenhaus.
Christoph Trebahn, direct Unfallkrankenhaus. Alright, so... well, clear on the right there. There is no airliner traffic coming as far as I can see. No traffic over there. That's very good. Right, 1,300 feet, that's a good altitude. Even flying a rescue helicopter, we have to maintain the minimum safe altitudes as far as practicable. So, overpopulated areas, that's 1,000 feet. And now we have our radio altimeter on the rightmost side over here, which is showing us how high we actually are above the terrain. So that's a really good tool over there. So, just 3 minutes. It's a pretty short flight that we're doing here, since we're just going from one side of the city to the other. But in the meantime, a couple of the comments that we had down there. Merrick's 498. Do ETOPS qualified 737s really, or could ETOPS qualified 737s really fly from Punta Cana to Cabo Verde? Zimbrief says yes. If Zimbrief says yes, and you have suitable alternates available, then yeah, they can. Just to give you an example, a fully loaded 737-800 from Germany or from the UK to the Canaries, which is like a 4.5 hour flight, take about 13 tons of fuel. These airplanes can load up to 21 tons, depending on the configuration. most of them at least 18 tons. So, yeah, they definitely have the range to do these kind of flights.
21, you left the control zone now and prove to leave. Tschüss.
Christoph 31, approved to leave, thank you, cheers. Alright, we'll go to 1 to 2.8. Small specialty on VATSIM flying in this area is the old Berlin-Tegel airport, which is closed by now, but for which there are some really good sceneries available. And on VATSIM it is procedure now to treat it as an uncontrolled airport, so anybody taking off and landing there would have to announce it on Unicom. And then we have Tempelhof Airport, the former one as well, which is closed already, which also occasionally sees traffic on VATSIM. So overall we just really have to stay on top of things here, and we really have to be careful operating in this area. So Mosoto, is Vortex Ring implemented? I think it is. I have actually not tried forcing it into it, but as far as I'm aware it's implemented. And yep, I fully agree. With that kind of crossroad we've had there, that accident was prone to happen. Alright, we are approaching the destination area. Now comes the interesting thing, of course, finding that hospital. Okay, still straight ahead, it says. Okay, I think it has to be that big building that we're just flying over. Yep, I can see the rescue pad. Alright, wind is coming now pretty much directly from the left. Let's do a small traffic pattern here. Remember, we always want to land into the wind when it's possible to do so. And of course I'm hopelessly overshooting it. Ah, there we go again. So whoever said earlier on that I'm not a helicopter pilot, yep, you're absolutely right. And I'm sure that all those patients in the hospital over here will be very happy as well if I'm doing my orbits over the hospital. Right, so there it is. Hey, they have a windsock next to the pad, that's nice. Alright, engines are at idle, they can start unloading the patient here. Alright, so we can take a very small break here. And that's only going to be a minute or two though. And in that time I'm actually going to try to find a lovely mission in downtown Berlin so that we maybe get to see the government district and everything. That would make it a little bit more interesting, would it? In the meantime, they've got the patient off into the surgery so they can start taking care of our patient. Alright, we have gotten another emergency call, this one from a street market, where the police has prepared a landing zone for us on a bridge. So that sounds interesting for sure. So, thank you, gentlemen. Time to step in. So while everything is starting up, let's quickly start programming our next destination in here. So the beacon is on, prime pumps on, emergency lights armed, start engine 1. So, flight plan. Going from UKB to the destination, accident 2. And that does not look right. I've probably done a typo creating that waypoint. Too bad. Well, then we gotta do it again. So, new waypoint, accident 3, and here we go. So north 522942, 522942, and we're going towards east 0132524. Interesting, that's exactly. Oh, now I know why. Okay, so we'll do that again. North 522942. East 0132524. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, and off we go. No, not. Let's try not to run into that crane. And the power is set, off we go. This one is taking us quite close to downtown, and this time we're going to land on a bridge over the Spree that the police has already prepared for us to land on. So that sounds like quite an interesting scenario, doesn't it? And Coyote New is suggesting me to fly the 145 in virtual reality. That's much richer experience. I fully agree, and I've just ordered my VR headset today, so that's hopefully going to arrive tomorrow, and then I'll hopefully be able to do that, and I'm really looking forward to that experience. Ash is asking, which type of helicopter am I using? Can we see the outside view please, and how long do I stream for? I'm using the H145 from Hype Performance Group, and formerly it was called the Eurocopter EC145. And I do not actually know how long I'm going to stream today. It's really like how long I'm still motivated to do so. So we're looking for a bridge that's prepared by police. That can only be one of the major ones over here. Let's fly to the destination first. See if there's anything near there. So this is the next river, so probably that's where that bridge is. But we'll have to get close and have a look. So here's our accident site. Alright, let's go ahead and find that bridge. It's probably the big one on the river to our left. Is it over here? Do we have any police present here? Yeah, there's an ambulance. And there's more. Alright, that's where we are supposed to go. Wind is coming pretty much from behind us right now. So let's go ahead. Fly a small traffic pattern. Anders. I should be honest, it's about how long my partner allows me to stay in front of the computer. Nah, she went shopping today. She does not have any say anymore today. She's got to go shopping. So is it on the right side here? Yeah, looks like it. Is that the one we're looking for? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, there are some streetlights down here. A couple of trees as well. Oh boy, this is not quite as easy as I would have hoped. But this looks alright. Okay, here we are. Stefan, thank you very much. So we have actually landed on the Cottbusser Brücke on the bank of the Landwehrkanal in Kreuzberg. Alright. I didn't know that either. It's very nice to see that some of you are actually able to recognize where we have landed on. And Delta Tango, yes, that's a payware helicopter. It's the Hype Performance Group H145. Cle4D wants me to do a hoist mission. Now, I don't think there is any scenario available close to Berlin where we could actually do one. And on top of that, I never have done one. So, I would probably embarrass myself if I tried to. And Ash, no, I'm using Microsoft Flight Simulator. That is not available for iPhone or for a PlayStation 4. It is available for Xbox, but I don't think that this very helicopter is available for Xbox. So as far as I'm aware, you are limited to computer for doing this. And Mosoto, if shutting down is required, to be honest, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, they are shutting the aircraft down every time they land, but usually these missions don't go quite as fast. Usually it takes a small while until they are actually ready and until the doctors have taken care of the patient. So, as far as I'm aware, they do usually shut the aircraft down. Alright, so, a hospital in Potsdam, the Ernst von Bergmann Klinikum, is going to take this patient. So let's actually start getting ready once more. So, the patient's in, let's close up. And start engine 1. So, good start on 2, on 1, starting 2. Stefan, you've actually seen them land right in front of your house with a rescue helicopter? That's great. Honestly, I'd love to see that one day. Even if they get me out of bed for it, by the noise, I'd love to see that. Alright, so that's all the startups complete. Let's have a look at the map real quick, where we are going. So we're going through the restricted area of the government, through another restricted area over Potsdam, but with a rescue helicopter we can actually do it. So, and here we are on the way. So controlled airspace starts in 5,500 over here. That's good, so we are going to avoid it altogether. Alright, we've got 1,000 feet above ground, so off we go. And yeah, Stefan, I fully agree, it is very impressive to see those guys land. There are a couple of documentaries available here on YouTube where they accompany some real rescue helicopters. And what these guys are doing, and the flying skills these guys have, are just incredible. They are absolutely incredible. I really admire these guys. By the way, now that I've got so many of you watching here, quick thing. In most of my videos, I'm asking you guys that if you really like the channel, you could maybe consider a small donation. Now, in this video, I'm not going to ask you for a donation for my channel, but I'm actually going to ask you for a donation to the real-life air rescue services, whichever are available near you. If they are accepting donations, and I know that most of them are, consider spending them a few bucks, because it helps keeping those crafts over here flying. And I've done so myself today. I have donated 50 euros to the ADAC Luftrettung, to the guys operating these helicopters here in the area. So if you like this video, consider donating a little bit to whichever air rescue service is close to the place where you are living. Alright, so we've got another 3 minutes to go to our destination. And in the meantime, you know this one? Small game on the iPad here. You click that mouse and, well, you see what's going on. And game over. So you remember that joke with the Airbus pilot? Starting up the Airbus before start checklist. On switch, on. Before start checklist complete. So you got Angry Birds on that iPad? Well, I got Floppy Birds on this iPad. Alright, 3 miles to go. Let's see, our destination is at the bank of that river, so somewhere over here. Most likely the hospital is the big thing over here, I'd say. Okay, so it's on the right hand side, just beneath the road, so it gotta be this building here. So, if anyone can see the helicopter landing pad, let me know. Just off our, well, I was about to say just off our right wing, but probably not off the wing. Ah, there it is. Alright, I'll go past it, as we have the wind from right behind us. And let's turn the chopper around. There was a big building somewhere over here. Yeah, there it is. And here we are. Windsock is looking good. Wind is coming from straight ahead. Oh, and here we enter the ground effect. And here we are. I really wonder what that's like in the real life when you are crossing to the top of the helipad. Like, you must be entering ground effect very, very suddenly. I wonder how that feels in the controls. Surely you must feel something. Alright. Delta Tango. The hardware I'm using is the Thrustmaster Warthog together with the Thrustmaster Pendular paddles. So, no specific helicopter hardware I'm using, but this is doing the job really. Alright, here we are, time to get out our patient. So, that's this part. Let's actually head back to the Charité for now and wait for a new mission over there. And actually, while we're going back, it's not part of any mission, but nonetheless, let's just have a quick look at the government district in Berlin, shall we? So you got to enjoy yourself while time lasts, huh? We'll just do right that. Quick look at the government district, and then we're going to head on towards the Charité, waiting for our next mission. And Ron, which VR headset did I order? I ordered the HP Virtual Reality Reverb G2. That was recommendation from two friends who are using it in flight simulation. And they said it works really well with MSFS, so that's why I went for this one. Alright, 2 good starts. Alright, I'll be departing in a moment. Just one thing here real quick while we are waiting. I've put the link to the operators, to the real-life counterpart of the operators who are operating the aircraft whose operation we are simulating in the chat over here, and I'm also putting it into the video description. So if you guys are considering a donation, please first and foremost donate there. These are the guys who actually deserve the money, who are doing good things with it. So, if you guys are planning to donate, please use that link to donate to the operators of this very... I don't want to call it company, but, well, I'll just pretend so. Alright, off we go. Alright, so back towards Berlin. Now, if anyone's asking, however, You guys have never heard that we are not on an actual mission right now, just going for a little bit of sightseeing in the government district, right? You have never heard that, because there is a big, fat, no-fly area right over that district. Oh, hello, Hype Performance Group showing up there. Nice to see you guys here. Definitely a very good helicopter you've created here. Really, really happy with it. Alright, we've made it towards downtown. Now comes the more difficult part, actually. Trying to find my way around here. Because I have to admit, even though I'm German, I have not spent too much time in Berlin yet. But let's start at the well-known places at the TV tower, and then we'll somehow find our way from there. And Stefan, emergency helicopters are of course allowed to fly into the restricted area when they are on an actual mission. The reason I said what I said earlier on is because if we take it exact, we are not on an actual mission right now, so then of course we would not be allowed to fly there just for fun. So with a rescue helicopter you can of course fly into the restricted areas whenever the mission demands you to do so, but if you're not on an actual mission then you are not supposed to be flying here either. That's why I said earlier on, you guys have just not heard that we are not on an actual mission right now. Oh boy, my frame rate does not seem to be too good right in the middle here. No, my frame rate is really bad in downtown here. Let's actually try to get away from here a little bit and see if the frame rate is improving then again. I have downloaded the scenery for downtown from flightsim.to. Maybe that's the reason why my performance is getting so bad right now. Because previously I've always had very good frame rates here in the area. Alright, let's try one more time. I want to see if it's possible and if my frame rates will enable me to at least find the Bundestag and the Bundeskanzleramt, which is where the German government basically is, and where the well, let's call it the Kanzleramt is more or less the German equivalent to the White House. And the Bundestag is the equivalent to the American Congress. So let's see if we can find those real quick, but looking at those frame rates, I have a feeling that I should be running from this area pretty quickly. So, over there they are. So those of you who are not familiar with oh boy, I see the frame rate in the stream has gotten even worse than on my simulator. I'm really sorry for that, guys. So, let's try to bring ourselves into a position where we can actually see something decent. Right, so this one over here is the Bundestag. That's basically the German equivalent to the American Congress. Basically. And then, when we are moving over to the other side, we'll find the Kanzleramt, which is where the German Chancellor is carrying out his, or previously her duties. That's the one over here. And I have a feeling if I'm ever going to fly like this in real life, then that's probably gonna be it with my pilot's license. Oh well, let's get out of here.